what y'all gonna do? Let's talk about it, right? You heard the man. You heard it out of his mouth. We don't deal in rumors over here. You gotta excuse me. I don't usually get choked up a little bit when somebody is on my platform or when certain things happen. But listen, and I'm just gonna say this very direct and blunt. And the only reason that I'm not up here pissed off and cussing is because I got respect for Mr. Robinson. And I don't want to mess up what it is that we put together today so that we can advocate for and mobilize for people to be able to do what it is that they're supposed to do. There is no help. There is nobody coming to save us. Nobody is coming to our rescue. We got to do it on our own. We all we got. If we can't utilize our voices and if the only thing that we utilize our voices for and our platforms for is the things that is not best for us, but we can't advocate for justice, we can't mobilize on behalf of the Father. You telling me not one organization, not NAACP, not Jesse Jackson, not any of these Al Sharptons, not none of these left, the Black Lives Matters, Patrice Cullors, not one politician, Biden, from the mayor all the way up into the White House. You telling me ain't nobody reached out to this man? Only when it makes sense for them to be able to secure your vote, right? Is that it? Is that it? So now this story goes away, and then in 2 or 3 months we not talking about it no more, but you still got monsters running around. What makes you think that they're going to respect our community and we can't even police ourselves? We can't even we will go out and we will march about something that don't actually have any value in our life, but we won't actually mobilize for something that we see that's right in front of our face. We can touch this man. We can touch. You heard him. You heard his voice. He pleaded. Listen, this is a man's man. And so you got to take into consideration that this man is unwilling to ask for help because us as men, we feel like we can do it all or we going to die trying. But I'm telling you that he's hurting. I'm telling you as a father that has have one daughter and there is no more, he is hurting. And I'm not going to wait for him to ask for my help in order for me to be able to mobilize and do what it is that I'm going to do on a regular basis. Take a month off from shopping at Balenciaga that don't care nothing about you anyway. Take your eyes off of Hulu and watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians for 5 seconds in order to make a phone call down to Mexico and then advocate and press so that they can actually start to feel some pressure the same way that y'all did when y'all decided to go out there and protest when you ain't even really have nothing to protest about. How many of us is actually going to stand up on behalf of, it's not even for Bernard. It's for Shanquella. Nobody is coming to save us. We all we got. And I am my brother's keeper. The same way that you got that same energy during election time and these politicians, they not going to start to come back around until late 2023 so that they can get your vote for 2024. We don't care nothing about that no more. Let's stop being bamboozled. Let's stop being in a space to where somebody can take advantage of us out of our ignorance, and we're going to start educating ourselves. We're going to start mobilizing. We're going to start utilizing our resources, not just to tear each other down, but for good. And the number one issue for me personally, right now, right here, right now, is justice for Shanquella Robinson. Every single last one of those monsters that's running around, and even the doctors and the people that tried to cover this up down in Mexico, they need to be held accountable. And anything less than that, even if they are held accountable and the same exact justice is implemented onto them, it's not enough. So this is something that we can get behind. This is something that we should be passionate about. This is something that we need to advocate for. This is something that we need to utilize our platforms for. If you love him, if you advocating for, if you standing up, fathers, anybody that's a father, if you a man and you a father, not just a black man, I don't want this to just be a black issue. I want everybody to be pressing. If you are a father, this is something that you need to be making a phone call for. At the very least, he didn't even ask you for no money. He said, press him. If you a father, at least send up a prayer for him and then call. If you are a young girl, anywhere between the ages of 18 all the way up until 35, you need to be pressing because you should be able to identify with Shanquella Robinson. If you are a mother, you should be able to identify. It's nobody that should not be able to identify with this story that we should not be mobilizing and asking for help from in order to bring justice on her behalf. This is something that we can get behind. It's no excuse. It takes a max 10-minute phone call for us to flood them lines and put pressure. Otherwise, because y'all gonna go down there and y'all gonna spend y'all money and put yourself in that same level of danger, and y'all gonna give them all y'all resources, but they it's never a requirement as to what it is that they should be able to do for us. Stand on it. Stand on it. Put pressure on it. Put it on your calendars at the very least. And then when we get to go, when we get the green light, we gonna make sure that Mr. Robinson is taken care of, because there's no reason in the world that he should have to grieve. And because let me tell you something, the utility company, the mortgage company, the car company, they don't care nothing about Shanquella Robinson. You know what they gonna do? Press him for that bill payment. There's no reason that this man should have to grieve the way that he grieving, and then at the same time being utilized as a pawn, so that all of these news media outlets is getting everything from him, but they not necessarily doing anything for him. These organizations, these news media outlets, none of them is actually advocating on his behalf, and none of them is doing nothing for him. So it's all on us. We all we got. We all we got. I love you. I appreciate you. I wanted to come to you guys today to be able to have this conversation and make sure that the real story is out. The real conversations is out. The rumors are dispelled. You actually got to see him communicate with you on a platform that is going to give him a voice and not paint a narrative. And we going to do what we supposed to do. I know my people. I know my tribe. I know my bag chasers. I know we mobilize on the things that's actually meaningful and actually bring about change, and it resonates in the hearts of the people. Let's stand for justice for Shanquella Robinson. We appreciate you, Mr. Bernard Robinson. You are the perfect father. Don't let anybody tell you differently. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to tune in. Let's get it, y'all. Let's do it. I'm out. Peace.